Yes, let's talk. That's gonna be the first topic. So that's fresh enough mind. What's going on? Huh?
We're closed.
I know. I had to try to get some room here. I was trying to get Charles to switch rooms, but you know they ain't happening.
What? Nothing happening.
Well, I mean, it could. What's going on, YouTube? It's Kevin and Mikkel. We are back with the new video. I want to give a shout out to everyone who watched our video about Caitlyn Jenner. And I want to give a shout out to everyone who tried to watch me and my mom live on YouTube yesterday. For some reason, I could not get the shit to work. And I am just over YouTube and Google Plus, like forcing you to use Google Plus to broadcast live onto YouTube. And I think that if YouTube is 10 years old, there should be a way where YouTube could just say broadcast live and all of our viewers can watch us right there straight on YouTube, where I won't have to edit the video and then upload the shit to YouTube. Like, I just think that YouTube really needs to fix that. After 10 years, you had Blog TV, that was real good, and then you got this YouNow.com. It's alright, but I miss Blog TV. Shout out to those that used to be back in the chat rooms with me on Blog TV. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna really, if you know how to use Google Plus, please like contact me or something so I can really learn how to use it, so I could do the live shows there. The video was clear and everything, and it said that people was in the room. I just couldn't chat with y'all, and I don't want to talk to dead air, you know, not listening on radio. But yeah, so just shout out to y'all that watched us on YouNow. But the video is now on YouTube, so you can check it out if you missed that. My mom on YouTube, she's back on YouTube. Also, what else I got to talk about? I'll talk about that next week. It's concerning the blackout. I'll talk about that next week. I don't have any other announcements. You got any announcements? Anything going on at your church? No? Okay. So yeah, so let's get into it. So we just, before we started recording, there was this news story about school in Minneapolis where the school took a field trip to, I guess they took a field trip somewhere else, but then they landed at a sex store.
No.
They just went straight to the sex store?
It wasn't the school, it was the sex ed class.
Yeah.
It was a sex ed class, and she had, the teacher of the sex ed class had a field trip to a sex store that was located where they are. Basically, you know, talking about sex ed with the students at the sex ed store. So I'll let Kevin finish.
So, you know, the two girls, that I guess they sisters, I don't know if they're in the same class or not, but they was on a field trip, and they told their parents about what happened, and the father was over it. He said, I didn't get a paper, or, you know, I didn't give him permission to go to the school or anything like that, and he's thinking about suing the school for taking...
You mean he took on a trip?
Yeah, on a trip. I mean, I keep saying this because I'm thinking it's not the whole school trip, no. The class. He didn't know that the class was going to a place like that. And you know what I'm thinking, like, why the hell are they going to a sex store? I mean, what are you trying to teach them about going to the sex store? Because things I see at sex stores, I mean, you got your little lingerie stuff, and you have your sex toys. I mean, you have outrageous sex toys, and I mean, outrageous. And then you have pornographic movies and things like that. And if you are a parent that shelters your children from a lot of stuff, you don't want them to see all of that stuff. So I understand why he's upset, and he has every right to be upset because he wasn't informed about what was going on. And I guess the principal or somebody that was at the school, she kicked him off the property, the news team, but he took his daughters out of school, and he took his little 3-year-old daughter out of the school because he did not approve of that. And what were you saying? I know we all seen the sex toys and sex education.
Well, what I was saying is I 100% agree with the parent. Unless, like the father said, you didn't give us any parents any warning or notification that you were taking our children to this particular sex store on this field trip. And he said, had we been informed and notified about this, then maybe our reaction would have been something totally different. But because you didn't do that, this is why we're angry. What I was saying to you is, yes, I do agree with the parent that he should have, you know, been informed. But you were saying that why would the teacher even take them to the sex store? What is it at a sex store that you would take
children to, because I guess they're teenagers.
Yeah, well, the high school and middle school. And what I was saying to you is, even though we all know, we look at sex stores, like you said, with the pornographic stuff and the lingerie and this, that, and the third. But what I was explaining to you is that if you have a sexual ed class, like a lot of people had sex ed in their high school, I did. And I remember some of the things that our high school teacher used to have when having sex ed. We would have pictures and things like that. And our sex ed teacher would also have props. Real dildos and condoms and things like that to show guys, if you didn't already know, how to use a condom, this, that, and the third. And where do you think they're getting that stuff from? From the sex store. Yeah. You get that stuff from the sex store. Like a lot of the stuff they got from like condoms, they have that at sex stores. A lot of the toys and a lot of props. You get that from sex stores.
But I'm thinking when you
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Because when I'm thinking when you go into a sex store, you're going to a sex store for pleasure.
Of course you're going to, yeah,
pleasure.
But yeah.
So I don't see why you're taking teenagers there so early.
But listen to what you're saying. For pleasure. So the sex ed class is teaching teenagers how to be more conscious and how to protect themselves when you are having sex. Yes, you go there for pleasure, but you and I are going there for pleasure. The teacher may have been taking these kids to the store to show them, okay, this is the stuff that you may want to use, or this is the stuff that you're supposed to use. Yes, it's pleasurable, and yes, for teenagers, it's funny and it's goofy, this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, when you have sex ed in high school and you have these teachers using these props, where the hell are they getting them from? They're getting them from stores like this. So the teacher's taking them to show them, okay, this is what it is and this is where you can get it from. I agree that no, the parent should have been informed, because I may not have wanted my child to go. I may have thought that right there, I want to tell my child, not you. And you know I'm big on that. Don't be trying to expose my child to nothing unless I know about it. Yes. But what I was only responding back to what you said about why would you take kids there. Yeah, it's like because it's education. Everything can be used in an educational purpose. This goes back to, I was talking to one of my coworkers today at work, and I was telling her how my pastor, he's really like against social media. He's not for it.
Your pastor?
Yes, my pastor. He's against it. Because the reason why a lot of people his age are against it, because they hear all the negative stuff about social media and doesn't know how to use it. Correct. So I had told him one day, I said, you know, social media can be used in a positive way. Just look at all the people that I've spoken to in this camera about my church and how many of them have come to my church because they heard me speak about it. Social media is not always used in a negative way. You can use it in a positive way. Just like the sex store. Yes, we all look at it in a nasty, negative way, but like this teacher, what this teacher was doing was exposing them to, I'm already teaching y'all about this because I'm a sex ed teacher. So, you know.
For me, if I was a sex ed teacher, I wouldn't take you to a sex store. I would just teach you, because when we did sex education, I remember in 5th grade, because
5th grade?
Listen, my 5th grade was all around. We learned about everything. We learned about that stuff like, we was watching, what is that, Playtext videos? I guess they would teach you about sex education.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
If you learned that stuff in the 5th grade, listen to what I'm about to say. If you learned that type of stuff in the 5th grade, then why is it wrong for a teacher to take high school students to a sex store?
Listen. This was sexual education.
Yes.
And what we were learning about periods, and we were learning about sperm, and how children are made and everything like that. We wasn't learning how to get your damn freak going. That's what I'm thinking about when you're going to a sex
But they in high school. How many high school students was walking around pregnant in your school?
Oh, when I got to high school, I was shocked. Because, I mean, you heard about people getting pregnant.
So if you're going to teach people about sexual education, what better place to teach them is in high school?
It's okay. But I'm not taking you to a sex school.
I just don't want my child
in the 5th grade
to be learning about sexual education. That's too young.
No, it's not too young. Because in the 5th grade, you're 10 years old. Because the girls are learning about, and let's be honest, some parents do not want to talk to their children about sex or don't know the right way to do it. And of course, Mr. Belassa, he had us sign the forms if you want your children to see it. The parents that said no, they had to go to a different classroom. But most of us was in there, and we were watching it and learning about what you call them, wet dreams, and girls getting periods, like red stains in their underwear and stuff like that, or didn't know what was going on. We learned about all of that stuff. But when I got to like middle school, of course, they talked about using condoms and stuff like that. And then once I remember in high school, learning about all the different damn diseases. you would think that everyone would be wanting to wear condoms.
Even today.
Yes, but you know a lot don't. And I've seen, yes, I've seen a lot of shit on, let's be honest, I've seen a lot of shit on XTube and My Vista, and I'd be like, oh my God, with all of this stuff going around, y'all still fucking with no condom. But then some of them just be like, fuck me raw, I only do raw dick. Like, I'd be like, oh my God. But anyway, because I'm having nasty thoughts. Because what if you a bad bottom and you take it raw and you reject some stuff?
Back to 5th grade.
Yes! We just learned the basic stuff. Puberty, or I'm getting hair down here, all this and that. Oh, it was good to watch.
Okay, you know what? And I that whole thing, you know, okay, I get it. Maybe I wouldn't feel comfortable with my 5th grader learning that. Okay, but I get it. All right, they learned it well. But when you're in high school, you are totally different from when you're in 5th grade. Let's just put it like this. Probably 85% of students in high school, or maybe 80% of students in high school, are having sex. And a lot of them probably already know about a sex store. So it's like...
Yeah, but they can't go in there and buy anything because they're not...
No, they can't go in there and buy anything, but that wasn't the point of showing them that you can go in there and buy anything. Just like the sex store even... And you know what's so funny? The school district, the school, and the sex store all came to the defense of the teacher. And the sex store was basically saying, this is not the first time that we've had classes come here. It is up to the parents if they want. And that's the only problem that I have, is that the parents wasn't informed. I don't really have a problem with teenagers going to sex stores, especially if you're in a sexual education class. 5th graders, yes, I have a problem with that. Don't be taking no 5th grade to no sex store.
No.
But a teenager, it's like, they already fucking any damn way, and half of them are walking around pregnant. You know, and like
but they need some shit. Cause I don't know what videos they show in high school now, but they need videos to scare these students.
They do.
I mean, I want y'all to see
they do
stinking it. I want y'all to see dicks with bumps.
I don't want to
all
see
over
that,
it.
and I don't want to talk about that.
No, but I'm saying they need to see it. You don't want to see this stuff that people don't want to talk about. This stuff needs to be talked about.
But then again, but you know what? But see, that's another reason why I'm not really bashing the teacher, because we really have no idea. I think also too, when people think of a sex store, like you said earlier, lingerie and all that, I doubt that the teacher was going there and saying, oh, look at this lingerie. She may have been going there showing them the different ways that how you can protect yourself, and this is what you can use, and this is how you use it, this, that, and the third. So the only problem, like I said, I have with this particular story is that the teacher didn't inform the parents. You should have informed the parents. You don't take kids to something like this. I don't care if they're high school or 5th graders. You just don't do that unless their parents are aware of it.
Now,
but by all means, if this is what part of sexual education, you can't just give them half of sexual education and not give them all of it. And
they need to know all of it. I mean, in today's world, I mean, they need to see everything.
And they need to see a condom more than anything.
Yes.
A condom. This is what you put on.
Be like, you ain't going to shit without a condom. I think, especially the female sex ed teachers, need to push that onto the female students more. I mean, it's a whole lot that needs to be talked about in high school when it comes to sex. I mean, now it's like it's the norm to see people pregnant. Like in my time, I was shocked, but I wasn't surprised.
I was too. I remember the first time I saw a fellow student of mine pregnant was when I was in the 8th grade at Finletter. There was a girl, I think she was either in the 8th or the 7th. I think she may have been in the 8th too.
Like 14, 15.
Walking around school pregnant. And it was a shock for the whole school. Not even just for the students, for the teachers as well. You're trying to figure out what the fuck's going on at home. That this is being allowed. But when, like you said, when I got to high school, I was just like... Now, like you said, now in 2015, it's the new normal to be pregnant in high school. But when I saw people in high school pregnant, I was just like, oh my God.
Because I don't know how you sit there.
Who is your mom? And they are letting you get pregnant? What?
Yeah. So while we're still on the subject of school, there was this lunch lady. I don't remember what city it was in, but there was a lunch lady there, and she was the manager of the lunchroom. And for students whose income is under whose family income is under $31,000, they get to eat school lunch for free. For students whose family income is $45,000, and between 31 and 45, they have to pay a reduced fee for lunch. So the lunch lady's job is they give the lunch out to the students first, right? And as they come into the lunchroom to sit down and eat, her job is to make sure that their lunch is paid for or their lunch is free. Some students can get away with, if they're late, their parents just have to pay, or they'll take some of the money from a different fund to help pay for the student. Or her job is to take the lunch food away from the student whose parents didn't pay or have a big balance and give them a slice of fucking cheese. So she lost her job, yes, a slice of cheese. So she lost her job because she was giving away, she kept giving these students the free lunches. Now what she was saying was that she wasn't wrongfully terminated because, she didn't follow the rules. But she doesn't feel bad about what she was doing because she was feeding those hungry children.
Right.
And I mean, what does it look like to throw this food in the trash and give them a slice of cheese? If the food is being wasted anyway, why can't you let them children eat that food? And
And who came up? What school district came up with this ridiculous rule? Or school?
I don't know. It's somewhere on my computer. I can't remember who tweeted it to me, but thank you for tweeting me that, because
that is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And shout out to that teacher.
Yeah.
Shout out to that
lunch
teacher.
lady.
Yeah.
The lunch lady.
Well, the lunch lady. Shout out to her, because I feel the same way. Like, why on earth would, if it's already going to be wasted, why can't they just keep it? Why can't they just keep it? They're already in the process of getting ready to eat it.
Yeah.
And what do you look like? What does any adult look like taking food from a child?
So they have to take the food and throw it in the trash and give them a piece of cheese.
Cheese.
Like, that's gonna fucking carry them over for the next 3 hours of the day.
Wow.
I feel bad for any school district like this. If anything, allow them to eat and let the parents know you have to pay this balance, or your child can't come to school, or your child will not be given lunch or something, or you better be packing your child some lunch for school.
Yeah, or you pack your child lunch. That's all. Just pack your child lunch if you can't pay this balance. But to have people walk around the lunchroom monitoring who paid and who didn't pay, when kids go to lunch, that's free time. That's their free time. Why am I? If anything, I should be walking around seeing who don't have something to eat, so then I can give them something to eat, rather than taking it away from them. You don't do stuff like that.
And then that's embarrassing, because now you giving me a slice of fucking cheese, and other people get to eat for free. It didn't make my family look poor because my mom or dad didn't pay for lunch. Like, come on now. So kudos to the lunch lady. She said that she's going to be doing some other kind of job helping children, but that story was just freaking ridiculous. And then I don't agree with schools telling families when you're going up for graduation, hold your applause. Hold your applause and wait till everyone has got their diploma and then applause, because allegedly you're disturbing the peace for shouting and celebrating that your child got their diploma. Now, this family in South Carolina, I believe it was South Carolina, one of the damn states, their niece got their diploma from a community college. The aunt yells and screams and, celebrates. Now, she said, now, I know I shouldn't have screamed because they warned us. And I knew I was going to
How did you get a diploma in high school?
She probably got something like a diploma or degree. A degree? Probably a degree.
Maybe it is. I thought you was a diploma. I don't know. I've been out of school for so long. I don't know. Forgive me.
It's associate. It is a diploma, but it's not a diploma.
A degree.
But it's a, what you call that thing?
Who cares? Go ahead.
So anyway, she said, now I know I wasn't supposed to, because they wanted us. But she's like, I figured they was going to kick me out. Oh, not only did, she had to leave.
The aunt?
Yeah, they met her and 4 of the other family members with, what you call them thing, not a warrant.
A citation?
But a citation for up to $500. And if they don't pay it, they're going to have to spend six months in jail just for disturbing the peace at a graduation. I just think it's so ridiculous. People find any kind of way to make money off of somebody. Was it that serious to do that to that family? No.
No, it wasn't.
And let me tell you something. I'm going to yell and scream for any of my family members. All them years of school they done went to, and they got that, once they call their fucking name, bitch, they gonna get that yelling and shouting out. Because you don't know how many times they had to yell and scream at this motherfucker for not doing their homework, lying and saying they didn't have homework when they had homework, or they got a damn interim, do they still do interim reports to let you know, well, your child is endangering or failing such and such and such. I don't even know if they still do it. But yeah, shout out to the family.
Well,
I hope that they fix the problem.
But let me just say this. The reason why, and they don't just do this at graduations, they also do this at funerals as well. Some of you know what I'm about to say. The reason why family members are asked not to yell or to hold their applause to a minimum is so that when they are reading out the name, so that the next person's name can be heard. Because you know, families can go, especially black families, can go on and get loud and on and get loud and loud and loud and loud and loud and scream. And so therefore, that's not fair to the person that's coming up behind them, because, like for instance, when I went to my sister's college graduation at Lincoln University, half those people up there, you couldn't even hear the names that they was calling because people were screaming and howling, screaming and howling. And it's like, I understand where they're coming from. I understand where you're coming from too, because I'm excited. You know, when my sister got her diploma, when she got her degree, I was excited. You know, we were all excited. But I get why they ask you not to do that, because everybody wants to make sure that they can hear their name called. And just imagine the family members who didn't hear, because I didn't hear a lot of people's names called, so just imagine family members who didn't hear their loved one name called. You know what I mean? It's kind of sad, and it's a little. And also, what I was saying about funerals, my pastor was just talking about this the other day. You ever notice when you go to somebody's funeral and before, you know, when they ask people to come up and give remarks, and they always say, please limit your remarks to at least 2 minutes. Why? Because people get up there and they start talking. And then one of the things that I notice too when I go to funerals, people get up there and start talking, and then all of a sudden, they want to break out into a song.
Do you know at my nephew's funeral, they charged us $400 for going over the time?
Yes, they will. And let me tell you something. Let me remind you something. A lot of people do not understand this, and you know I know. A lot of people don't understand this. You have to follow the rules. Why? Because it is money. Do you know that when I give bus trips all the time. My grandmom, God rest her soul, taught me this, and she taught me this at a young age before I even knew. She didn't sit me down and tell me this, but by her actions and what she did, I learned years later that's why she was doing this. Years ago, my grandmother used to give bus trips for our family, and we would go down to the shore. And my grandmother would always say before we got off this bus, be at this bus by this time, because if not, we're going to leave you. Okay. My grandmother would leave you. And you would have to find a way home from where
she actually left people.
Told the bus driver to leave. This is why. Because if you stay over a certain amount of time, the bus company charge you.
Okay, she gets charged.
They get charged you. They charge, and I tell people this all the time. Do not think that I'm going to get off this bus and come looking for you.
Yes.
Because bus companies will have in their contract, they'll either charge you $75 extra or they'll charge you $100, depending on what bus company you use. Over, I can't, it's like, some bus companies, if you 10 minutes late over the time, we will charge you. Why? Because you have to, they are charging you, people have to remember, they are charging you by the hour. And if you go over that hour, that means that you are going, that's extra money that you have to go over. And I stress this to people when I give my trips. Please be back at this bus at a certain time, because if not, I will have to leave you. And you can't be mad at nobody but yourself, because I warned you, okay? And my grandmother did it numerous times. She would leave people.
Well, I know they was over her.
Hey, well, you know, it is what it is. But that's why a lot of funerals, they tell you, people at the church tell you, please make sure you limit, because the cemetery is charging you, the funeral home is charging you. You got to remember, some cemeteries, they stay open. If they don't have that many bodies coming in on that particular day, they'll stay open waiting for you to get there. And if you don't get there at a certain time, then it's like, well, damn, like, you know, because people people fail to realize the men that have to put your body in the ground at the cemetery, they got things to do too. You know what I mean? It's Kevin. You hear what I'm saying? They have things to do. Everybody got some things to do. The man that's driving that hearse to the cemetery, he got something to do too. Those pallbearers, everybody got something to do too. They may have another funeral to go to. So you cannot get up there and start singing and talking. When people ask you to limit your remarks, it is a reason why they are asking you to do that. And yes, there are some churches that will charge you over. Look, you only supposed to have our sanctuary for 2.5 hours. You already now over 3 hours. Yes. So yes, we're gonna charge you.
I'm trying to think.
And you're not a member of this church?
Where did we do our... Did we?
What?
I'm thinking, did we go back to the church?
For the repass?
No, we just had it on the block, I think. I'm trying to
No,
think.
I thought y'all had the repass at the church.
We had, okay, so
in the basement part, because remember we walked to the cemetery, because the cemetery was on the same thing.
Well, I rode.
Well, yeah, you rode, but I'm saying everybody else walked.
Yeah.
The cemetery it's not. It wasn't that. What's the name? It was all on the same street, Allegheny Ave, right?
Lehigh.
Lehigh. Well, you know, one of them.
I was trying to think, yeah.
And then that's when everybody came back to the church. I remember that.
Yeah, I probably zoned
out. Yeah, it was a blur. It was a blur. But I remember that.
But I know we was back on the block and we had a good time. We had a real good time. But yeah, funerals, y'all, don't run over your 2 minutes.
It's just a limit to everything. Like I said, it's a limit to why people don't give these rules to be mean. They give them because there's an order of service. You have to follow that
it's
order.
hard to sum up a lifetime of a friendship in 2 minutes.
Right.
That's why you do a memorial service. You take your ass to the wake, or you take your ass to the family's house, and tell them story.
Right, tell them story. So therefore, when you get out the funeral, you ain't gotta get up there and tell them. You done already told it. On the roof.
Wrap it up.
And don't have the repass at the church that the funeral is at, and you sitting there doing the funeral service smelling the food.
Oh, you know what I hate? Oh, this is what I hate. When the church is in Philadelphia at the funeral and gotta drive all the way out, a good 45 to an hour. 45 minutes to an hour to get to the cemetery. You get there, then you got to drive all the way back to the repass.
That's how it was at. That's how it was at my aunt's funeral. You know where my churches is all in West Philly. Well, my aunt, majority of my family is buried all the way in Cheltenham. So this man drive from West Philly all the way to Cheltenham and back to West Philly for the repass.
Look, I'll meet y'all somewhere else. Meet me at
and anybody who knows Philadelphia that's watching this video, y'all know the distance between West Philly and Cheltenham.
And don't let the cars and don't have a funeral sticker or somebody keep fucking up the damn line. Or somebody else want to cut through.
I had to tell my sister. Because my aunt's funeral was the first time my sister drove in a funeral procession in a car. We get to a stop sign. What are you doing? You keep going. Oh, I thought you had to stop. No! They gotta stop for us. We don't stop for them. But you know, I'm in the car, red lights, all that. You keep going when you're in a funeral procession. You don't stop, you keep going. They supposed to stop for you. I don't care if it's 2 million cars in this damn procession. They gonna wait.
Yes.
That's disrespectful to drive through a funeral procession.
And they do it.
And people do it. When they feel like they're waiting too long, they do it. Like, you don't do stuff like that. I don't care how long I'm waiting. I'll just have to find another route. Like, make it. But people do it, and it is so disrespectful. Like, you should never do that. You should never do that.
You ain't in that much of a rush.
That you can't just be respectful.
And I hate when cars just slide down our block like they on the fucking freeway only to stop at a red light. What are you doing?
What are you doing? This is not an expressway.
And
that's a gunshot.
These fireworks.
Oh.
And it's not even 4th of July.
And it's only...
They've been lighting them up for like 2 weeks.
Well, it's only 6 o'clock. Why are they shooting fireworks?
Because they're stupid.
No, I don't think that's a firework.
That's not a gunshot.
It better not be. Not while I'm sitting here.
Listen. Now, when you trying to shoot somebody, it's bang, 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 bang.
That's true.
These bitches, pow, pow. Let's get to the next one. Janet motherfucking Jackson. Well, you want to keep doing it?
Are they coming from? Because I hear it this way too.
That way.
It's probably them boys who ain't got no job doing it. I'm trying to figure out where they get the money to light firecrackers from.
You better leave him alone. And what he said about us on that show, I ain't trying. And Ariel said she seen the video. She was cracking up
Because it was true.
So Janet Jackson.
No.
You know how everybody keeps saying, "Oh, in the next 30 days, Janet Jackson is coming out with a new single." Now, y'all know me. After 8-7 years of hearing all these fucking rumors, now when Janet say, "Bitch, when I say something, you believe it." Okay. So yesterday, Janet Jackson was like, "Yeah, bitch, I told y'all again from my mouth." So they released a press release saying that Janet Jackson will be releasing her her first album in 7 years this fall, and that she's the album will be distributed by BMG through her own record label, Rhythm Nation Records. Now BMG saying arguably she's the first African American female to own her own record label, but I know that other artists have had record labels that were umbrellas of other labels, so I don't know how it fucking work or how it go. So I'm not going to say that Janet is the first artist to own her own record label.
But she's one of
okay, because I know Mariah had Monarch Records, Mary J. Blige, Matriarch Records, Missy Elliott, Goldmine Records. Like, I know about all of those stuff. And Diddy, what did he have?
She said female. What?
Whatever. So Janet is going to release her 7th album this fall. I think the album's going to be called Conversations in the Cafe. I really think that's going to be that. Because she's been using this hashtag, Conversations in the Cafe. But Janet has really been using it to talk about stuff that's going on in the world that people are not afraid to talk about, have those conversations and things like that.
Do you think that it would be kind of like the Scorpion Show? Do you think that you're supposed to say yeah?
What?
That went right over his head. You said she's using the hashtag Conversations in the Cafe, talking about people having conversations around the world that people don't.
Oh yeah, well you can talk about the Scorpion Show.
No, I'm saying kind of like the Scorpion Show, how we have conversations. Never mind. What I was going to say was
that one. Yeah, because I didn't get it.
Yeah, you did.
It's all right.
It could either be the name of a new album or probably the name of a new single.
Yeah, but I don't want it to be called. I don't want a single to be called Conversation in the Cafe.
That's true. I don't want an album to be called that either. But
I don't know. But if it is called Conversations in the Cafe, I would love for Janet to. I don't know what kind of sound it's going to have, but if it's going to be called Conversations in the Cafe, just have an album that's based around Conversations in the Cafe.
Well, can I just say this?
I don't know.
But see, Conversations in the Cafe sounds like a jazz album. Like it would be real jazzy and mellow.
That ain't her.
Yeah, that ain't her. That's why maybe Conversations in the Cafe is not the name of the album. Because when you think of that, when you hear that, it's like, dang, I'm looking for Conversations in the Cafe by Nina Simone, or something like that. Not Janet Jackson.
Yeah, I know for sure that I want Janet to have a concept album, kind of like how she did with the Velvet Rope or Rhythm Nation, or the Janet album. I want a great concept album. I want some dance songs. I mean, I want a little sex song, but I don't want the whole album to be based on sex.
And yeah.
I want it to be fun shit. I want to see you dance. I want to see you have a good time. That's what I'm about. But after 7 years of not having an album, I'm just happy for anything. But I want it to be something that people are actually going to buy because. I know that Janet doesn't have anything left to prove, but I also want Janet to be a motherfucking success when it comes to her album. And not only Rhythm Nation Records for herself, she's looking to sign new artists and established artists to her record label.
And I think this next tour, if she does one with this album, which she most likely probably will be a success than the last one was. Remember was that the last one when she had to cancel the shows? Or
No. That was the one before that. Because this one, she didn't cancel any shows.
But the one before that, when Media Takeout called you the president.
Child, baby!
Y'all remember that?
Yes, that was like 6 years ago. I was
a long time
over it. Woo!
I got my life.
Yes, I had to get it together. Because I was mad like she wasn't telling us what the fuck was going on.
And sometimes you gotta get your faves together.
And don't fucking... Can you pass me mine? Don't fucking have people come to a show. They drive all those hours to get there.
R. Kelly.
And then this ain't nothing even in here.
And then tell people that the show's been canceled.
Yes, like they
R. Kelly did that.
People was filing in and it was canceled. Like, what the fuck?
You going to your seat? Oh, we sorry. You gotta go. Why? This is my seat. This ain't your seat tonight.
They got Janet together. They was like the Rock With You tour. Now it's the Fuck With You tour. Like they was just. It was just.
Did she ever put a statement out?
She had vertigo. That's what they said. She had vertigo and she was at these bad migraines. I don't know nothing about vertigo.
Did she ever put a statement out?
Yeah, that was what her people were saying. Shit.
Did she ever put a statement out? Did she ever see? Yeah, right. That was.
But listen, we're not gonna talk about the downfall. We on this new shit, bitch. It's 2015. You know?
Vertigo is like dizzy spells.
Yeah, you get dizziness.
Yeah, and you blank out, blackout.
Yeah,
and that's a serious thing.
Yeah.
That's a very.
But I've never heard of her having it before. Besides that.
Yeah, but sometimes vertigo, like for instance, my first lady has it.
Really?
And she passed out about a few Sundays ago at church. Yes, that's something very serious. Before service started, she passed completely out, and I knew something was up because when she fell out, like, wow, I said, Lord, I had to take off my jacket and put it in. I mean, it was bad, like, you know. But vertigo is a very serious thing, and it's like a lot of people don't talk about it because vertigo is not something that comes about all the time, like it's always happening. But it does happen, and when it happens, people go out hard, and you gotta like really let them. It ain't like no normal. I just passed out. Like it's a thing.
Yeah, I heard it affects your head, and you can have very painful headaches.
And you can like, cause that whole day she was out of it. Like she was just like, you know, like, and you gotta.
Did y'all cancel service or
no? You never canceled. We didn't cancel service when that lady died in church.
Oh, I remember you was telling
us. You don't cancel service. Somebody passed out. She's all right. She's still breathing. We don't cancel service for that.
But that's the first fucking lady.
Yeah, but that was before service had even started. We were in our prayer room getting ready to go into service when she passed out.
Yeah. So people have been saying about BET. I think that BET should honor Janet Jackson this year with the Lifetime Achievement Award.
With the
Yeah, I think it would be great to do that. And if she has a new single, bitch, perform your new single at the BET Awards at the end of the month.
Oh wait, the BET Awards. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's this month.
And the girls will be talking, and then you got the rest of July to get it together while these girls are on break.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry to cut you off. BET hasn't announced yet who the Lifetime Achievement Award is going to.
Nope. Or their humanitarian award. They haven't said anything.
Well, if it ain't Janet Jackson, whoever it is already knows it by now.
Yeah, I mean, we got a couple weeks to go.
But what I'm saying is because usually they allow the person to perform.
Yeah. Well,
so I'm sure
somebody being tributed to.
Yeah.
But I don't. What the fuck is going on in North Philly? I need. If Janet if Janet did it, I want Sierra to perform. I want Missy Elliott to perform.
Keisha Cole
and Chris Brown. Fuck Keisha Cole. We just did a segment on That's all I want. Shit, and if Beyonce could take her ass to the BET Awards instead of being via satellite, I would love for her to do something. Since she love to do the Rhythm Nation shit, bitch, can you picture Beyonce doing Rhythm Nation and actually like singing and performing it? But that would be hot. Yeah, Sierra can do it.
That's what I was getting ready to say. That would be hot. But if you got Sierra on the stage, why not just have Sierra do it?
Yeah, I mean, hey. Yeah. But I don't. Now listen.
Actually, to be honest with you, I wouldn't want Beyonce up there because Sierra is more closest to a replica of Janet than Beyonce is. So Sierra could actually pull. To be honest with you, Sierra could be the only one up there. You ain't even gotta have nobody else. Sierra would kill that. She would just need a full out dance thing. It can't be no singing like she did for that Michael Jackson tribute.
But if she did, but if they had Chris Brown,
that's something scared me. I thought it was something.
Chris Brown, Sierra. Did you first of all? Did you not?
Who is that?
I don't know.
Hey, you got a knock. Don't do that to me.
Yeah, because I'm recording.
Hey, Jeremy.
So yeah, I would love for Sierra and Chris Brown to do a Scream fucking during the tribute to Janet, like a Scream tribute. That would be fucking hot, man. BT, y'all need to let me do the production shit. Because I'm only going to have real singers and performers on the show.
But then Sierra wouldn't be there.
No, she
you mean
perform.
the show? Oh, yeah, performer. Oh, yeah, you're right.
You're not going to keep doing her like that. Because let me tell you something. I really love her album. It is so good.
Why doesn't the rest of the world like it? That's a shame.
Listen, I can't force people to buy her music, but I guess what I also tried out. I tried Tidal for the 1 month. I don't have to pay until. Can you throw? No, that's the wrong one. I just threw that one over there.
Wait, this one right here.
Yeah, one of them. Is this? You sure?
No, it's not mine.
So yeah, why are they lighting fireworks?
That's a Roman candle with the sparkles, and they aiming them at each other.
They fucking stupid.
Kevin.
Do you know what you could do if you could put somebody's eye out with a firework?
You can with any type of a firework.
Bitch, do you know your fingers can blow off with them M80 bombs?
Oh, that's not mine.
I know it's not. What we were saying? So yeah, I signed up for Tidal. I mean, they got a little bit of everything. Of course, I want to see what they had at Janet. They had everything except for Discipline and I believe 20YO. But I mean, the stuff that they have, it's enough to get by. And they got their little playlist from Jay-Z, and then Beyonce had her little playlist for the summertime. I mean, Beyonce like all of that down south shit. I was surprised.
Oh, wait a minute. So basically, when you go to an artist playlist, it's actually their music plus songs that they pick themselves.
Yeah, songs that they pick. Yeah. Beyonce had none of her stuff on there. Oh. She had all that Houston shit. She had Lil Mama on there. She had, people that I've never seen. Yeah, but I know who they are.
Yeah, it's a good way to see what your artist listens, what your favorite artist listens to.
Yeah, it's. I like that part, and then you can create your own playlist, or like if you have a party, bitch, all the songs gonna play. But one thing I did notice that they have a problem with is some of the songs freeze in the middle of the motherfucking thing, and y'all need to fix that. Because if y'all want me to spend $10, y'all want to fix that. Yeah, and something I noticed is this. Yes, I could rent music. I could buy the music, spend $10, but bitch, sometimes I could spend $50 a month on music. Now, if they putting the album on Tidal on the same fucking day, and I could get it for $10 instead of spending $50, what I'm gonna do? I'll go with Tidal or Spotify. And Spotify had this, see Tidal, y'all gonna have to really compete with Spotify, because Spotify giving you high quality music for 3 months at $1. For $1 fucking dollar, that's 33 cents a month, just to try out their premium thing. And then they didn't, I think it's $10 afterwards. And Jay-Z and them, they charging $20 a month for high quality, high fidelity music. But something I did notice is that even with the regular stream, the music had great quality to it. It did have great quality, and I don't need fucking headphones. I hear quite well out my ear.
I know that's
and right. I can tell the difference between the music that I listen to on iTunes versus Tidal. So yeah, try it out. It's free for 1 month, 30 days. If you don't like it, fucking cancel it. And don't forget to cancel. Because bitch,
let me ask you a question. Do you think you'll cancel it? Do you think you'll cancel it by the end of the trial?
If I like Spotify better, I will.
Okay. So you don't have Spotify?
No, but I did. I'm going to sign up for their $1 for 3 months. That's great. And they got the same music except that they don't have Taylor Swift. Or now unless they don't have Beyonce and Jay-Z, all of them on Spotify. I don't know.
Taylor Swift not on Tidal?
No, yeah, she's on Tidal, but she's not on Spotify no more. But
why?
I don't know. Maybe she didn't like how much they get paid. And something that I learned is that through music spins, if you listen to 10 songs, it's equivalent to an album sale. So if you get 1,500, if your album is listened to over 1,500 times, that counts as one record sale. So I guess that counts like $1 per album listen. I don't know, but it counts as an album sale, and then it goes towards the chart, because Sierra sold 19,000, but due to the streaming, it was an extra 6,000 added on, so it was like 25,000 albums sold. I never knew they was doing no shit like that, but this has been going on since 2012.
Because this is the new age of...
Because nobody is buying shit, so now they gotta find ways to make money through streaming. And streaming, you're not really getting paid. It's not really no money in there. So you know what? It's time for musicians to find better ways than having to pay record labels. If you can go independent, bitch, go independent, because you get all your money and the rights of your shit. And something else I wanted to say is, go on tour. Fuck that. Sierra, you went on tour for a month. Fuck that. Stay the fuck on tour and make your fucking money. Because that's where the money is at.
On tour because that's where the money is.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Let me tell you something. Y'all know I love my girl Beyonce. One thing I will say about Beyonce, whenever I look at a video of Beyonce on tour, I don't see fans. I see money. I see dollar signs. And it's not even my money. But the fact that these people are paying to go out and see her means that just goes that they are willing to spend their money. I just couldn't understand why it was that all these people were posting about Sierra, but yet when her album came out, it was like nobody bought it. But y'all were running to the tour, and I'm like, I mean, naturally somebody said because Sierra's that type of artist that you want to see her rather than hear her, and I get it. I so get it. But if you can spend your money to go see Sierra or in a concert, you mean to tell me you can't spend to buy an album because the concert ticket is way more than an album? And I just, it's ass backwards.
But you know what though? Same thing with Madonna. Madonna can't sell an album worth of shit. But that bitch can sell a $300 ticket and them girls are in there.
How the fuck y'all know the song?
Okay.
How the fuck y'all know the song?
Because Madonna ain't performing all this shit like that.
She performing all that old shit. Over and over.
Yeah.
But then again, it's kind of like what Beyonce does. Okay? People always say, I'm not going to go see Beyonce because she always performs that same shit. But at the end of the day, that same person is in that concert. Because Beyonce, she performed that old shit over and over again. Why? Because that's what the people want to hear. And then she's kind of mixing up the old shit with some shit, you know. And like you said, sometimes she's mixing up the shit which ain't even her shit. It's probably somebody else's shit. But it's a show.
Yes.
And people like to be entertained. And it's Beyonce. Like Madonna, like Kevin said, ain't nobody buying her shit. But because it's Madonna,
like for instance,
when Michael Jackson, before he died, and he did that This Is It
show.
Well, no, yeah, that This Is It tour. I thought before I found out that it was only supposed to be overseas, I thought that he was going to do it over here too, and I was like, bitch, I'm going to this concert when he come to Philly because that's Michael Jackson. I don't give a fuck if I don't know none of his new shit. That's Michael Jackson. Like to say that I was in the same arena with Michael Jackson, I can't wait. But then when I found out, no, it's going to be overseas, I'm like, what kind of bullshit?
Yeah. And then he signed on to do 10 shows, and then he signed on to do 50 shows.
Did 50 shows.
Because it's sold out like in seconds. Michael Jackson.
And then come to find out he wasn't even sleeping at night. Or he was, but he was.
When I was a kid, I never understood why people was falling out over him until I got older. Like them people. I'd be like, what is wrong with these people? I don't know if it was like on HBO when it had like. He had like a concert and he was over and they was just passing people around because they was just falling the fuck out.
Because just looking like,
yeah. I would do that. But I understood it when I seen Janet. Now I didn't pass out, but I was in shock.
You understood.
Bitch!
Water in your
they had to push me after she was signing my book. I couldn't say anything. They're like, your time is up.
That's how it was when I first when I first saw Beyonce in concert, it was at Live V. But when I first saw her concert was the Beyonce experience here, and I remember when she came up and walked up on that stage and stood there, and I was just like, and then when she went up the steps and came back down with and just stood there, and I was like, bitch, that is Beyonce. You don't get it until you don't realize until you actually see them.
Yeah,
you like.
Some people be falling out, crying.
You know, like that's the person that you always see on TV and in the magazines, and they standing right there in front of you. And they,
remember when Lady Gaga made Amber cry and stuff?
Yes, when Amber said, "Oh my God!"
I was at work and y'all went 2 days in a row.
I didn't go 2 days in a row. I think you did.
I sure did.
He did. You know, all I need is one.
One night.
One night. All I need is one night.
One night only.
Unless it's, you know, Queen.
So,
then I can do that. But when it's, I was like, all right, that's all I want. I don't need to see it.
So let me tell you, I've seen a lot of posts. I mean, a lot of negative posts about Bruce Jenner. Bruce Jenner, bitch.
Caitlyn Jenner.
I got this. Bruce Jenner's transition into Caitlyn Jenner. Now, goddamn it, when I'm running this, I'm running this.
But when I said that to him not too long ago. Sit down.
I gotta use the bathroom.
Oh, when I said that to him not too long ago, you told me,
he's the only one who shuts me up in this room.
So Bruce Jenner's transition.
That's what the fuck you get. That's what the fuck you get.
Yeah.
No, you won't show me shit. I'll show you. I'll get the last laugh. Ha 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 ha
transition into Caitlyn. Now, I've seen some videos where people feel like he has been given favoritism because there are many people out there that had transitioned and doesn't get the exposure that he got. I mean, that she has now, and the sponsorships. People want Caitlyn to be a sponsor or
the LGBT,
get free dresses and things like that.
Community, right?
So they felt like Caitlyn is no different than any other person that has transitioned. But then again, y'all have to remember that we followed Caitlyn before she was Caitlyn, and she comes from that big family.
And we knew who Caitlyn was before she was Caitlyn. Not just on the show, but back in the 70s when she was the Olympics star. So, you know, I think that's a little unfair comparison, you know, to compare those two. It's like really comparing apples and oranges. We knew this person. We knew this particular person. This is, go ahead, finish, because you may have more to say. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and you know, I've seen some posts where they say, "Oh yeah, black people is all concerned about Caitlyn Jenner, and they don't even worry about the other transition, the other transgender, or they don't talk about Freddie Gray and everything." So I had to go to their post, and I was like, I noticed that you always have something. I didn't want to say negative, but I noticed that you always had something to say. Like, I don't know who you friend on Facebook. You need some new friends.
Me?
No, not you. I'm saying to the person that posted.
Get on me.
Like, you need some new friends. And I was like, the friends that I have, we talk about everything. You know, we don't just talk about no drag race. We talk about everything. So I don't want people to look at this transition and people to be negative about it. Someone will always stand in a brighter spotlight than someone else. So that is something we're going to have to always remember. It might not be right, but bitch, somebody's light is always going to shine brighter. So it is what it is.
That's why you're supposed to walk on your own light and no one else's.
And they say, well, you know, Bruce wasn't courageous and stuff like that. That, first of all, that is courageous to transition to Caitlyn at 65 years old, and to live under all of that stress, having children, and still wanting to be a woman, or feeling like you're in the wrong body. It takes a lot of strength to say, I don't give a fuck about what anyone has to say, or I don't care. Well, they probably do care, but you know, about how they're going to treat their family members, and then you got grandbabies and stuff like that, how they're going to be treated when they get up. It's a whole lot of stress. So it does take a lot of courage for what Bruce Jenner did to transition into Caitlyn. Now, another thing is, Caitlyn Jenner will be receiving an ESPY award for Courage Award.
For courage.
For courage. In sports, and I can't remember the full title. But a lot of people are upset about it because you had a guy that was on Dancing with the Stars who was, who's an Army veteran or a military veteran, whatever. I can't get the right words today, but it's all right.
Just a military.
Yeah, he's
a veteran.
He's a veteran, and he's missing an arm and a leg, and he performed on Dancing with the Stars, and people was trying to figure out, well, how was he more courageous than? How was Caitlyn more courageous than this guy? And then you had the basketball player Lauryn Hill, who had brain cancer, and she still played. Or I guess she played just one game while she was in her condition, and they said that took a lot of courage too. So why didn't she get it? So, you know, it can look like favoritism because it's Caitlyn Jenner.
Well, when did they announce this?
The next day.
After
June 2nd.
After she
transitioned. After she came out the transition on Monday. I mean, when I say came out, like when it came out.
Can I just say this?
Yes.
I seriously doubt that the ESPY Award Committee met on Monday and decided Monday night that tomorrow we're going to make Caitlyn Jenner our Courage Award recipient. I highly doubt that. That may have been something that was already in the works for a while. Let's not act like, let's not act like Bruce Jenner wasn't this American hero when it came to the Olympics. What is it, triathlon, or he was a, what was he? A runner, whatever the hell he did.
He did do a decathlon.
let's not act like that he wasn't this big star, yes, in the Olympic world. So I highly doubt that they decided on Monday after Caitlyn came out and said, you know what, we gonna meet up and we just going tomorrow. Like, come on, like, why couldn't they have already been? Why couldn't this have already been in the works? Why is it that somehow y'all think that now that Caitlyn came out, that the very next day the ESPYs have decided to honor them with, like, it just...
It's just, I would probably say bad timing.
But why is that bad timing? You're honoring
because it's like, oh, now we giving you an award just right after you just came out to the world as Caitlyn.
Everything's gonna be bad timing to somebody, you know.
Yeah, but maybe like
I posted something one day and you thought that I was throwing shade at Sam Smith and I really wasn't, you know. But some people thought that was bad timing. I was like, no, that wasn't
bad timing.
My opinion, you know. But you see what I'm saying? Like, my argument is, everybody's gonna think something is bad timing, and you know, I highly doubt that the ESPY Awards decided Monday night that Tuesday we're gonna announce. Now, because we see that this is Caitlyn, that we're gonna announce this. Like, you know, like what, you know? The ESPY Awards is an organization that I'm sure for a long time they have had this in the works of who they're gonna honor. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And as Whoopi Goldberg was saying, maybe they could give it not to just one person, because there's a lot of people that do courageous things.
Right.
Maybe it might take away from the prestige of being that one person to get the Courage Award. I don't know. But congratulations to Caitlyn Jenner. You know, maybe at the next ESPYs they can be recognized. Some people probably think Stuart Scott should have got a ESPY for courage because he came out and spoke to the world at last year's. But I think he was given it.
He was given an award. Yeah, he was.
I think
Maybe
it probably was the same award from last year.
I don't know. But this is what I was asking. Yeah, I don't want to ask this. I don't know. This is what I was talking to you about. Now, I want to make sure that I'm clear on Caitlyn Jenner's whole transition. Because somebody brought this to my attention and I was like, damn, I really don't know and I don't know what to say. Somebody asked me, did Bruce Jenner become Caitlyn Jenner? Because I want to make sure I'm clear. When he did the Diane Sawyer interview, he said that, did he not say that he wasn't gay, that he was attracted to women?
Yes.
Okay. He said that he wasn't gay, he was attracted to women. So someone asked me, is Bruce Jenner going to live his life as Caitlyn, or is he just going to dress up as a woman every so often? Because they were trying to figure out if he's not gay, then is he still going to be attracted to women, or whatever how the question went. And I was a little confused. I was like, I don't know if he's going to live it as a woman or what. So this is why I said I was going to ask you, what is he planning on doing?
Bruce Jenner is a woman for life.
Forever.
Okay. Caitlyn Jenner
is a woman for life. Okay, fine. Now we got that out the way. Now, it was something that Funky Dineva posted on his Instagram page the other day. Half of what he said, I just totally did not agree, and I had to leave a long comment on why I didn't agree. And I thought that the two names didn't even match with each other. But what I did see that he posted, not saying that I agree with it, but I would like for Caitlyn Jenner to be interviewed again, now as Caitlyn Jenner, and to have this question asked to them. Because you know Caitlyn Jenner had revealed on the Diane Sawyer interview that she was a Republican. And you know they were not into stuff.
Yeah, and they was tearing him apart.
Yeah.
Fox News thought it was funny.
So listen. This is what Funky Dineva had posted. Although I am extremely proud of Caitlyn Jenner for finding her personal happiness, I'm a little unsettled about the new position she has found herself in. Overnight, and to no fault of her own, Caitlyn Jenner has found herself as somewhat of a figurehead for the LGBT community. Where I take slight issue is the fact that Caitlyn Jenner is now finding refuge in a community she never really supported. Now, some may argue that because Caitlyn was lost inside of Bruce, that Bruce did not know how to support the LGBT community. Fine, this is Funky Dineva. Fine, I was once closeted myself. I understand that struggle wholeheartedly. What I can't wrap my head around is how then Bruce and now Caitlyn closely associates with people who not only disagree with them, condemn, or won't acknowledge the LGBT community. He closely associates with people who present day are actively lobbying against the equal rights for gays. For the life of me, I don't understand how Caitlyn can go to bed at night and reconcile this. Now she says as Bruce she was not gay and wants us to truly grasp that sexuality and gender are two totally independent things. I happen to agree with her. However, as of now, present day 2015, when you've once had or currently have a dick between your legs and is on the cover of Vanity Fair in a nasty piece of lingerie, society says you're a member of the LGBT community. He then says, I guess she reconciles it the way so many gay people who attend Christian churches faithfully every Sunday, where their pastors speak openly and unapologetically about homosexuality being a sin. I guess it's an a la carte political party affiliation. Caitlyn picks and accepts the parts she likes, the parts that benefit her, and she rejects or turns a blind eye to the parts she doesn't. Shrug shoulders. Of course, I had to let him know about the whole church thing, because I said, excuse me, but not all pastors get up in their pulpit and speak negatively about homosexuality. I said, you know, my pastor, for instance, has stated many times before that his place is not to judge anybody born on this earth. And I even let him know that there are many gay people that are in my church that are in positions, okay? Deacons, whatever the case may be. My pastor does not turn a blind eye to anybody with your sexuality, because we are all Christians. When you come to church, I'm not looking at, oh, that's a gay woman or a gay man right there. You're looking at them as all Christians and what they can do to be witnesses to get other Christians to Christ. That is my pastor's job. So I had to come at him, you know, about that. Like, you can't, I don't know what goes on down south. And somebody left me a comment and says, you know, I understand what you're saying, but a lot of pastors, that's how they are down south. And that's, excuse me, you cannot possibly think that I'm going to sit here and believe that all pastors in the South are that way. You must think I'm a fool. Because I know for a fact you ain't attend every single church down south. So you can't say that. Just because you may have attended a church or go to a church or been to one or two churches, fine. Don't go back to that church. But don't associate, because you've been to one church and the pastor says something negative about homosexuals, that all pastors do that, because all pastors don't do that. Just like you don't have all good pastors, you don't have all bad pastors either. And that was just my gripe with that. I felt as though associating that with this, that was two different, I don't know how you even do that. But how do you feel about what he said about Caitlyn Jenner and her Republican Party ties? And
I think it sucks to be a Republican and be gay and not be gay, but and is gay, and they don't agree with how you live your life, and they try their best to, you know, turn down any bill or any, you know, anytime anybody try to file for, what is the right word I'm looking for? When I say they turn down a bill, I said turn down a bill.
No, you didn't say. I mean, but yeah, that's what they do.
When they don't want you to marry who you want to marry, be on the same pension plan, or somebody be on your
visiting rights and all.
Yeah, they don't want you to have none of that. I think it sucks to be a part of a party that is about that life. You need to be a little bit more liberal now that you are Caitlyn Jenner, and I think it's probably time to change your party affiliation. And what else did you want to know about?
Well, let me just say this. I don't think that someone should change their political party because the political party that they're a part of does not agree with their sexuality. Or maybe you can vote for... And I'm going to tell you why I don't think that. Because a political party is not just a party that focuses on one issue. There's many issues that political parties focus on. And that may be one issue that Caitlyn Jenner and her party just don't agree with. Everything else they may agree with. That may, you know, for instance, we all know that Ronald Reagan was a Republican. His wife, Nancy Reagan, a Republican. For 10 years, Ronald Reagan suffered from Alzheimer's disease. And for all these years, people have, particularly the Democratic Party, have been trying to fight for stem cell research to see how you can fight this Alzheimer's disease. Republicans, and which meant to freeze, you know, eggs, your embryos. Republicans wanted nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. Nancy Reagan didn't up and leave the Republican Party because they didn't want to find ways to cure her husband's disease. No, what she did was, when President Obama came along and he signed a bill to try to find out, she came to the White House and she supported him on that. Now, that doesn't mean that she's no longer a Republican. That just means that she supports this Democratic Party president on this particular issue. And it's sad that you, in 2015, have people who don't agree with certain things. But I mean, that's life. Everybody ain't gonna agree with you. But I don't think that Caitlyn Jenner should leave the Republican Party simply because they don't agree with her lifestyle. That's just, you know.
But I think it's a main part. I think it's a main part.
It is a main.
And if I can't be supported on something, a main issue like that, that's important to me, I don't think I want to be affiliated with that party. And, you know, I can't wait for a new wave of young Republicans that are sensible to come into power.
That's only if they're being taught to be sensible.
Yeah. Because you do have them, though.
Yeah, you do have.
You got
Meghan McCain.
Yes, you got the fucking search.
She's very sensible, and I like when I like listening to her speak when she's talking, because she's a Republican. But she knows how to be sensible on issues that are Democratic and Republican. You know, some things she don't agree with the Republican Party is. For instance, she didn't agree on her father picking Sarah Palin, and she made that very clear. I didn't agree with him picking her. You know, she didn't agree with that. It's a lot of things, but you know what? I agree that yes, on a major issue like that, maybe people should think about, you know, if whether or not they're going to leave the party. But I just don't want people to think that because somebody doesn't agree with something that I'm doing in my life, that somehow I should leave the party. Because guess what? Before Caitlyn became Caitlyn, she was Bruce, and even as Bruce, she knew the Republican Party, how they felt about gays and transgenders, and she still supported them. So why now?
But see, I don't ever remember, like, I can't ever remember Bruce Jenner being a part of the LGBT. I can't picture, or I don't think, I really can't say it because I don't know, but I know for me, having recollection of them being in support of gays, I don't remember seeing it. I'm sure, like,
Republicans or Bruce?
Bruce, like the Kardashians, but I'm sure that Kim, because I know Kanye is a big fan of the gays.
Now.
Really? I think he's always been in support.
I'm sorry, somebody pull up that Oprah interview where he openly, not even Oprah, I forget what interview it was, when he openly discussed how years ago before he became famous, he didn't like gays until he discovered fashion. Until he realized that gays were the power heads behind the fashion industry, and that's when his mindset changed. And I said, it's funny that fashion was the one that changed your mind. No wonder why you walk around looking like a queer. Stop that. So people gotta pay attention to the underlying things. I saw that interview when he said that out of his own mouth.
But that was like a long time ago.
Yeah, but so what? But he still had his mindset. So let me ask you this. So because if fashion wouldn't have changed his mind, would he still not like gays?
I can't say that because I don't know.
These people, you said this a long time ago on that roof. These artists need to realize that half the people out here that are buying your albums are gays.
Yeah, they are.
Don't y'all understand that? Straight black men don't go out and buy nothing. Okay? They don't even want to pay child support. Do you think they're going to go out and buy your album? No. If they can bootleg it, they will. Females and gays are the #1 supporters of any artist, whether you are a rapper or a singer. That's just a known fact. Just like Bow Wow. When Bow Wow came out and said he wouldn't let a gay person cut his hair. Don't you know that half of your fan base were gay men?
Yes, I remember
that. Don't you know that half of your fan base were gay men? What straight guy was walking around talking about Bow Wow, listen to his music? Like, come on. Like, I pay attention to what people say. Why? Because I know people pay attention to what I say. So I'm paying attention to what people say. I remember when Kanye West made that confession. Am I going to hold that against him? No, I'm not going to hold that against him. But don't think I forgot that you said it.
Well, I'm glad he let some ignorant stuff go.
Yeah, I'm glad he did
sometimes it do take an experience to change your mindset on things.
Yeah. But fashion of all things, I would have rather him say, I saw this gay person get killed and I thought it was so wrong and it just changed. I would rather him say something like that.
He could have had anything, like it could not just be fashion. It could be he had a gay fan and that came up to him and just.
But that's not what he said though.
I know, but I'm just saying. You asked me if he haven't talked about fashion, do you think he ever would have changed his views? You just never know.
No, you don't never know. But I mean, Kanye West is an ignorant person anyway. This is why I never had anything nice to say about him. Never had nothing nice to say about him.
What's the word? Narcissistic. Yeah. That's what he is.
And he's up and high on himself. Mm-hmm. And that is one person that if we never ever had to interview, I would not shed a tear over Kanye West. I really wouldn't.
Now I want to know that anybody shed a tear on this Duggar family interview from last night. with Megyn Kelly on Fox News. Now, I watched it today. Very soft interview from Megyn Kelly. And that's something that I would have never expect from her, because when she goes in on the Democrats, she goes in. And I mean, she is hard and she will press. She didn't do that. You know, she didn't do that at all. I think the toughest question she asked them, she asked the Duggars is, she asked Michelle, how do you feel now when people say that you're a hypocrite because you did robocalls against transgenders, saying that they could be child molesters?
And you had you raised
a child molester
living in your house. Not only that, but you and your husband knew what he was doing to his siblings. And what did she say?
And she said that, what was her response?
Come
she
on,
said,
tell me what it was.
Bitch, wait, let me get it together. I think I probably wrote it down. She said that her child is not a child molester.
Oh, it's not.
And she said it's not fair that people are comparing them to that. Her child is not a child molester. And she kept looking at Jim Bob, the whole fucking time she was talking to respond. So their response was, well, she didn't say that they were child molesters. She said that they were pedophiles. Bitch, a pedophile and a child molester are the same fucking thing. What you call the same thing, different spellings? I mean, different meanings. Synonym. Same meaning.
A pedophile to me, yeah, pedophile.
Synonym.
Yeah, like
it's
live and live.
Yes.
Well, no.
No, not living alive.
Live and live.
That's a homophone. No. Sounded like spelled different. Bitch, we got to go back to grammar school. Synonyms, same meaning, different words.
Yes. Yeah.
Antonym.
Same meaning, different word.
Antonym, opposites.
Same meaning, different word. Kevin Cunt.
Ooh. Bitch, what? Did I delete the note? Ah!
You need to put your phone down. You always delete the notes. Every show.
I deleted. No, I didn't.
Put it down.
Let me read what she said. I'm going to read everything that I wrote down. This ain't going to take long. Josh was crying, saying he molested the children. The girls didn't know. They were told by the parents. He told them that he molested the girls.
And so the parents told the girls that they were molested.
Yes. So they said they felt they did the best that they could. They punished him several times and talked to him. He began to find the girls in their sleep. That's why they never knew what was going on. Right. And he found 4 sisters.
Not one. Not 2. But 4 different sisters. The youngest being 5.
Yes.
5.
Found them in their sleep and found the babysitter. Now, what was she doing sleeping on the couch? Was supposed to be babysitting? That is not my business. But they said,
who needs a babysitter when you got 19 kids?
Bitch, Jim Bob and Michelle gotta have dinner dates too. But who knows?
19 kids?
At 14? I mean, I guess he's the oldest. He was 14.
Oh. Well, how was he molested? Well, how old was the babysitter? That he was molesting her?
But he apologized to her. Because she didn't even know, allegedly. She didn't.
Go ahead, finish reading, because I have a question.
So they talked to other people who have done, and they found out, no, they said they talked to other people about what was going on, and they found out that they had people that had worse problems than them.
So they sugarcoated.
Yeah. So Josh admitted to them again. Came to them crying again. Then they
still doing it.
Yeah, and they sent Josh away to a mentor in Little Rock, Arkansas. And so, I don't know what question Megyn Kelly asked them, but she was like, and you didn't go to the police, but you sent them away. And they said, as parents, we are not mandatory reporters. And that's when I said, what in the entire fuck are you talking about? Anytime something going on like that, it needs to be reported to the police. Because what if that child was awake? In some instances they were. What if they would have told a teacher that this was going on in the house? And then they investigate and find out that you knew. You going down with them too. Because you was sheltering a damn pedophile. I don't give a fuck if he was 14, 13. He's a motherfucking pedophile. He up there filling on 5-year-olds. Because at 14, you know when you fucking wrong. Talk about, yeah, we talk to God and all that. Yes, it's fine to talk to God, but bitch, you also got to take action. How about talking to that ass? How about taking a fucking stick and beating his ass for touching your child?
And then taking him to the police.
Yes, and tell him I did it. And lock me up too, because I did it. And that's having, because, I'm from the era where I'll fuck you up and tell the cops I did it.
Here I'm from too. I'll fuck them in front of the cops.
Yeah.
That's the era. Because I gave birth to you. And if they want you, they can take you.
Yeah.
But not before I fuck you up.
So he said,
So this is okay. Finish. Go ahead.
So he said at 15, he returned home and asked God for forgiveness. He did touch girls while they were awake, and they were saying that they didn't understand what happened. And then that made me think, as a parent, you had 5 girls, and you had these girls. What age did you teach them good touch and bad touch? We was teaching our nieces that when they were young. I don't remember what year I was taught how old I was, but I knew the damn difference. Good touch, bad touch. That's something they talked about all the time in pre-K. You don't let people touch you here, or you don't let nobody touch you down here. And somebody touch you, you tell somebody, even if they say they want to do something, you tell. But most times, most children don't say anything. And they didn't know that this was happening to them, or they didn't understand what was happening. And they felt as failures because, but they said they felt like they were failure, but kids would make their own decisions and do what they want to do. When they were talking about Josh, they said, you know, he was explaining why he felt as a failure as a parent because his child was doing this. But he said, but kids will make their own decisions.
Meaning kids will decide if they want to touch somebody.
Yes, and it's not his fault.
And it's not my fault
Even
because
though
my
he
child
failed.
will decide if he wants to touch them.
And they said they had no fear because about what happened because they had took him to the mentor, they took them to the police. Mind you, they talked about taking their child to the police station when he came back after being mentored. And they said that they didn't know this guy, but remember we were told that they knew he was a friend of the family and he scared the son. And not only was he put away just for, you know, the child pornography, he also got in trouble for not reporting what was reported to them about what their son did. They said they told him everything. And they was like, we didn't know if we were going to jail, or we didn't know if he would be put away.
Can I just ask you a question? You notice how throughout all of this, throughout that whole interview, and I didn't even see the interview, but you notice how throughout the whole interview and the excerpts that I've seen and what you just said, nobody, including the parent, asked or even mentioned what was said and what was told from the girls themselves. Nobody said how the girls were doing. Nobody said if the girls was put into counseling.
Oh yeah, they were. They all were.
But I'm thinking, why is this all about Josh? Because it seems like these parents are doing everything they can do to protect Josh. But what about your little girls? Even still, I was watching CNN and they were showing clips of Josh, because I guess he has a family now.
Yeah,
He has a wife and 4 children. And they were showing a clip on CNN. They were showing a clip on CNN, and one of his kids was sitting on his lap. And one of the people said, and I feel uncomfortable watching that, knowing what he did. Because let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck. A pedophile will touch you. It don't matter if you're a stranger. They'll touch you if you're a stranger, a sibling, or if you're their own child.
Amen.
They will touch you. I'll never forget, I was watching Oprah. Love you, Oprah. I was watching Oprah, and it was an episode of Oprah, and this girl was getting molested by her brother. And she went to go tell her father, and her father then turned around and started molesting her. Show me how he was touching you, and then that's how it started. I was like, oh, so she was getting molested by her brother and her father.
Lord.
People don't care. So yes, I'm like that commentator. I feel uncomfortable watching Josh Dugard have any type of child, small child, sitting on his lap.
And I wonder
like,
if they disclosed it to his wife that this was going on. But they were saying that they didn't.
Now everybody knows.
Yeah, they said they
whole
didn't live
family
in fear because, you know, they had talked to everybody about what
They talked to everybody except for the
and
cops.
that his juvenile record was sealed and that it would never come out.
And now he can't go to jail.
Yeah, because the
statute
statute of limitations had changed. So they felt that, you know, it was done and that it would never come out.
This all went on while this show was being broadcast on television.
How long have they been on? Since he was 14. So this
Since
is
they
like
were young.
14 years
So
ago.
this was before K plus 8, wasn't it?
Yeah, way before.
Way before K plus 8. So when this was going on, they were still on TV. I would imagine that they were on TV. Right?
Who?
Because how old is Josh?
He's 28. So this was
If he's
14 years
He
ago.
was 14, so that was in 2001.
2002.
2001, 2002. How long have they been on TV?
what, 2007, 2008?
Okay, well,
it's been a long time.
It's been a long time. So when they got on, so that means that when they got a TV deal, this stuff had already happened.
Oh yeah.
And probably was still happening, okay? And instead of trying to report this, they wanted to get that television deal and keep it hush-hush because they knew if this would have came out, that all that shit would have been wiped out. They would have lost everything.
They're trying to save face now.
Yeah.
With everything that's going on. But, you know, y'all can say that, oh, he's not a pedophile because he wasn't 16.
He's everything.
He's a fucking pedophile. He touched your children. And yes, it's hard to accept something that your child did like that. Yes, you can forgive your child for something like that. But I feel like the reason why people are coming down on you guys so hard is because you guys have condemned a lot of people over the years, and you said things about people, and then you talked about the gay people and being a real Christian family, and transgenders will turn around and touch your children. Shit like this will backfire when while you thinking that, oh, you in the sunlight and you thinking that you are above the clouds, bitch. Well, the clouds came down on you, bitch. They came down on y'all.
What were we talking about? Pedophiles and who else? Or the same thing?
Pedophile and child molesters.
Yeah. Yeah, because I had to make sure.
I think they are the same.
Yeah, I had to make sure we were.
Pedophiles go after children.
Pedophile is someone who's sexually attracted
an adult
to a
that
child.
goes after their children.
A child molester is an older child or adult who touches a child for his or her own sexual gratification. So yes, they're the same thing. Sexual, yes.
Yeah, but this, oh yeah, and mind you, they kept saying, yeah, he touched them, but their clothes were on. He fondled them. Like, they made sure that they kept saying clothes. Like, you could tell that they were media trained throughout this interview. But then they felt like they were attacked. No, nobody attacked the Duggar family specifically. What came out is about what happened.
And what y'all hid.
So it's not just an attack. It's not an attack against y'all. It was just shit being brought to light about Josh Duggar and what he did to those 5 children. Them 5 girls. 4 of them his sisters. Then you had the nerve, and I want to know who the fuck was the parent of the babysitter that did not go to the police.
Right.
To just say, oh, he's sorry for touching you while he was asleep.
Right.
Fuck that. You violated someone. You violated them. And then you want to make it look like you're the victim. You are not the victim. Well, why? And why do y'all have to do the fucking interviews? Let Josh talk about what happened. Let's hear from John, what's Josh's wife? Let's hear from her. How she feel sleeping next to a man that fondled 4 of his sisters and the babysitter. And got 4 kids by him and got 1 on the way. Now that's who I want to hear from. That's who I want to hear from. And then I wanted to know, did you guys have this conversation with Josh's wife before he got married about his past? Or did you just think that it was just all going to be sealed documents, that it would never come out? So they saying that some lady on the police force released it because she said that she had some things to do before she retired. So they think it was her. But from what we knew was that somebody had written in the book where it happened and they put it in the book.
Somebody found out and passed the book around. Yeah.
And then it's all the
whoever released it, thank God they did it. Don't get mad at the lady for retiring. Don't blame it on her.
Yeah, they said it was her. Take me to the king.
Yeah, take me to the king. I'm getting retired, so I'm going to let everything out. That's like when you leave your job and you just curse everybody who fucked you over while you was there. Yeah.
Now I understand that every family has secrets. But when it comes down to men touching babies, I don't give a damn if he's 16, 14. It's a problem. And it needs to be taken to the police. Something needs to be done because you're not going to be doing this. And then you say he came to y'all crying because he was touching them and did it 3 times that you know of. 3 times that you know of.
That you know of.
Yeah, come on now. Y'all just not right. I don't want them to be back on TV.
Ever.
Not the way y'all condemn people and then y'all had these dark, deep ass secrets like this. Come on now.
Nobody's not going to watch them if they come back.
No. No. But I want y'all to keep believing in God, and I want y'all to keep, you know, promoting God and keep talking about God. But I don't want to see y'all on nobody's television in the family. No. Huh?
What channel were they on?
TLC. Yeah. Anything else?
The channel I don't watch. No. Because we've been talking for a very long time.
This a long video in a long time.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
So, yeah. Thank y'all for watching today's show. We will see you guys next Tuesday with the new video. So,
Have a good weekend. Be safe. Peace.
Yeah.
You